We are hearing from prayers of Queen Kunti, and we are on the introduction. And then we are trying to understand the calamities that Kunti Devi went through, to that how her full life she had one to face one challenge after another, one calamity after another. Kunti was Lord Krishna's aunt. He had incarnated as the son of her brother Vasudeva. Yet, despite this conventional tie with the Lord, she fully understood his exalted and divine identity. So she was his aunt. She was, Kunti Devi was Vasudev's sister. Vasudeva is Krishna's father. So, but yet, she understands that this is the Supreme Lord, his exalted and divine identity, fully understood. Not the, oh yeah, oh yeah, I know Krishna, I know, he's my nephew. No, she fully understood his super excellent position. She knew full well that he had descended from his abode in the spiritual world to rid the earth of demoniac military powers and re-establish righteousness. Just before the Great War, Krishna had revealed all this to her son Arjuna in words immortalized in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7 to 8. So she fully understood that this is the Supreme Lord, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that right now, yes, he's appeared as my nephew, but what is his original identity? His original identity is he's the Supreme Lord. And then why has he come? Why has he come? He's come to reestablish the religious principles. He's come to annihilate the demons and to protect the devotees, because Krishna himself said that to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descent in Bharat and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I incarnate myself in order to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I advent myself millennium after millennium. So these are very famous verses of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7 and 8. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. And so this is the reason that Krishna comes. Whenever religion declines, he comes. Whenever there's too much irreligion, he comes. And then what does he do when he comes? Then he protects the devotees, protects the pious. How? Because he annihilates the miscreants, the people who are making the mischief, the people who are misrepresenting the religious principles. And in that way, he reestablishes what is true religion. What is true religion? Krishna had accomplished his purpose of annihilating the miscreants by orchestrating the destruction of the unholy Kauravas. Then he installed Yudhishthir on the throne to establish the Pandav reign, and he consoled the slain warriors' relatives. The scene of the Lord's imminent departure provides the setting for Queen Kunti's exalted prayers. So Krishna had already done what he had come for. Kurukshetra war finished. In the war, all the demoniac kings were killed. Yudhishthir was elected. He was put on the throne as emperor of the world. He was not only ruling India, but the full world, the full earth. And so now Krishna said, okay, now I'm going to go back to my place, I've finished my work. Now this is the scene. This is the background, which brings about Kunti Devi to speak these wonderful prayers. She spoke these prayers 5,000 years ago, and till today we are trying to understand, trying to study these prayers. As Kunti approached the Lord's chariot and began to address him, her immediate purpose was to persuade him to remain in Hastinapur and protect the Pandava government from reprisals. Oh my Lord, are you leaving us today? though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us, Bhagavatam 1:837. From this supplication, we should not mistakenly conclude that Kunti's prayers were self-serving, although her sufferings were far greater than those any ordinary person could endure. She does not beg relief. On the contrary, she prays to suffer even more, for she reasons that her suffering will increase her devotion to the Lord and bring her ultimate liberation. So Kunti Devi, she's praying to the Lord, not for herself, to not that, oh, take away my sufferings. No, what is her heart? No, let me suffer more and more. Let these calamities come again and again, because when these calamities come again and again means I will be seeing you. And when I see you means I will not be seeing birth and death again. That is what is her prayer. That is her prayer. My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from the poison cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again, for seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. So she's remembering all the great things that how Krishna is protecting them, has always protected them, how he always protected them. Kunti's words, the simple and illuminating outpourings of the soul of a great and saintly woman devotee, reveal both the deepest transcendental emotions of the heart and the most profound philosophical and theological penetrations of the intellect. Her words are words of glorification, impelled by a divine love steeped in wisdom. So Kunti Devi's prayers are in Srimad Bhagavatam, but Srila Prabhupada, he published them as a separate book. The purports are amazing, amazing purports. And so because of the great importance, Prabhupada published these prayers as a separate book. He extensively spoke about on these prayers, extensively spoke, because this is the outpourings of a soul, and it's teaching us the most profound philosophy, the most profound theological knowledge. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. Bhagavatam 1:842. So we are going to be hearing the prayers in detail. Kunti's spontaneous glorification of Lord Krishna and her description of the spiritual path are immortalized in the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, and they have been recited, chanted, and sung by sages and philosophers for thousands of years. Kunti's spontaneous glorification of the Lord, because Lord Krishna was leaving at that time. He was getting on the chariot. And so this is the outpourings from her heart. So it's spontaneous. She had not recited. She had not, not recited. She had not rehearsed. Oh, this is what I'm going to tell Krishna. These are the verses I'm going to speak. She did not take notes beforehand. Oh, I'm going to meet Krishna and I'm taking these notes.
Planned is the right word. Planned,
yes. Thank you. So these are spontaneous. Krishna is leaving. Oh my God, he's leaving us. So whatever is in her heart, it's just coming out, pouring. That is what spontaneous. Then Prabhupada is writing, outpourings of the soul of a great and saintly woman devotee. So the devotee, the emotions of the devotee, the feelings of the devotee, she's expressing in her prayers as they appear in the first canto of the Bhagavatam. Queen Kunti's celebrated prayers consist of only 26 couplets, verses 18 through 43 of the 8th chapter. Yet they are considered a philosophical, theological, and literary masterpiece. The present book, Teachings of Queen Kunti, includes those inspired verses and an illuminating commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya, of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, and renowned Vedic scholar and spiritual leader. In addition to this commentary, originally written in 1962, Teachings of Queen Kunti contains further explanations that Srila Prabhupada gave in a series of lectures delivered in the spring of 1973 at ISKCON centers in New York and Los Angeles. At that time, he analyzed the verses in significantly greater detail and shed even more light upon them. This book offers the reader a deeper look into what it means to live immersed in a spiritual life and opens a window into the thoughts and experiences of both Queen Kunti and Srila Prabhupada, two elevated practitioners of the yoga of devotional mysticism, the publishers. So we are going to be hearing of Prabhupada's explanations, his lectures, of how he has analyzed Queen Kunti's mood, her prayers, and this is a great study, considered a great study of philosophy, theologically, and literary masterpiece. So we'll stop here for today and we can begin from tomorrow.
Okay.
Are there any comments?
So this is like a lecture, like what for Prabhupada's lectures that they have compiled.
Yeah, purports were taken from the lectures of Srila Prabhupada. He was speaking when he was speaking on Queen Kunti's prayers.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hare Krishna.